What if I told you there's a secret psychological structure even deeper than your core beliefs, your core identities, that is actually the matrix coding substructure through which all of your beliefs and identities come into form? Welcome, friend. Glad to see you again. In this video, we're going to be talking about definitions, the core source code upon which all of your beliefs and identities are comprised and constructed. You may have heard metaphysical, spiritual teachers like Bashar or Esther Hicks, or insert your favorite guru here, talk about the importance of core beliefs and changing your definitions so that you don't misperceive reality through a lens of fear. But up until now, no one has ever actually given you a solution to be able to rewrite or change your definitions in a way that dissolves all of the associated fear of the concept. Well, good news, I'm going to share with you the most simple and direct approach that you can possibly ever imagine to dispel the limiting definitions that underlie your core beliefs. We're going to get to that method that I'll offer you in just a minute. But first, I want to define what a definition is so that you more deeply understand it. So let's look at the board here. Fundamentally, we need to break down the etymology of the word. What is the root in Latin of each of these syllables that we're pronouncing when we spell the word definition? Well, definition. Definition. It means de, completely, finere, to bound, to limit, to place the limitation and define the boundaries of, finere, and then sion, which is the action, the process that creates the result. So ultimately, when we combine these together, every definition is the action of completely bounding and limiting any experience into words, aka spells. Now, this is important to understand because every single definition that you learn is essentially the code that you weave together in order to use the power of intention in your mind. And if you're not well versed or studied in magic or metaphysics, you might want to start studying intention at the bare minimum to understand how your psyche actually creates and generates your experience of reality through your intentions. So fundamentally, you have the capacity to create anything imaginable with your life, with your will, and with your intention, focusing your mind on creating a definite result. That's intention. And you use words, aka spells, in order to focus and guide and direct your attention to a specific intention. So here's the intention, and you say, I want to make more money. That concept, that idea, that desire is just a bundle of words resting upon core definitions of I and want and to and make and more and money. And notice that each one of those is associated with a whole, complete, and distinct set of thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations. So if I say the word strawberry, an image, poof, pops to your mind. There it is, strawberry, and maybe some thoughts, delicious, yum, fantastic, ice cream, whatever the fuck other associations you've mapped neurally onto that concept of strawberry. Then there's the actual sensation of a strawberry bursting in your mouth full of flavor, and maybe an emotion associated with strawberry. It could be, I remember when I was 10 years old, I ate a whole bowl of strawberries and threw up and I still feel gross about it. Or it could rather be, wow, I love strawberries. I used to grow up in a strawberry patch when I was a kid and I feel joy every time I look at a strawberry. So the concept of strawberry is completely arbitrary, but your emotional experience of it, your multisensory thought, image, emotion, sensation experience of strawberry is completely unique to you. You're the one who defined it, and all of your definitions are created through your direct experience. This is why definitions condense experience into words. That's what definitions are for. Now, ultimately, every single human being watching this video lives inside of a perceptive matrix of definitions that constrict and bound their capacity to perceive reality. That is what definitions do. Instead of seeing me, you see white man. Instead of seeing me, this, I, instead of seeing the experience in front of you, you see nose, eyes, hair, face, head, body. Now, ultimately, this is not a marker. This is what this is, and you call it a marker. Your definition is a word spell that gets superimposed on top of the base matrix reality. And the word spell that you have for your experience is never, ever, 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 ever the exact same thing as your experience. The word spell is a limitation, a bounding of that experience into a mouth sound, into a word, a spell that we call a definition. So, why does all this matter? Well, you probably have a definition in your belief system called unworthy, not enough, incapable, failure, loser, overwhelmed, too much, can't do, won't do. Thousands and thousands of definitions, all of which, if you're honest with yourself and you really seek to discover and explore this concept and you dive deep into it, you will find that all of those ideas and concepts, all of those definitions are bound up with extremely high levels of emotional energy inside of your physical body. And you can instantaneously see and feel and know this for yourself simply by saying these words out loud. Show me my definition of being unworthy. Oh, there it is. Yep, there's all the thoughts, the images, the emotions, and the sensations. Look, there's my dad. He's yelling at me. There's the kids not picking me at baseball. There's the fear and the shame. Oh, yep, there it is. I'm unworthy. Whew. Okay, now shake that out. And if that didn't make any sense to you, try this on. Show me my definition of being worthless. Say these words out loud, if you will. Show me my definition of being worthless. Yeah, I see an image of a bum on the street, and I feel this just shaking my head, feeling like, God, it's worthless, just worthless. Someone else has a totally different definition in place. Someone else doesn't see a bum on a street and feel a shaking head shame. Instead, they feel a deep sense of self-doubt that wiggles inside of their solar plexus. Fucking worthless. God, why am I so worthless? And this experiential definition of the concept, unworthy, worthless, same as any other concept, failure, idiot, loser. These are all mouth sounds until you place and invest your emotional energy to them, thereby installing it semi-permanently as a belief structure within your experience of reality. It's baked into the very definition of the concept. So this is why I'm giving you this command. Show me my definition of blank. And again, this is where you can write in all kinds of spells that you've invested your life force energy and faith into over the years. And whenever you're ready, you can undefine those definitions through direct intention. Now, what's key to understand here is that if you understand that the definition contains all the thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations, it's not just the word salad that you find on Merriam-Webster Dictionary.com. A definition is an experience. It is experiential, right? It contains all the thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations. When you understand that, what you can do is say the following out loud. Once you've chosen a definition that you'd like to let go of, this will give you a direct experience of diffusing and unraveling all of the emotional charge bound up in that definition. Are you ready? I now choose to undefine all definitions of being worthless. Try saying it out loud. If that's one that resonated for you. Now you have to choose one that actually resonated for you. I now choose to undefine all definitions of being loser. Watch what happens. Interesting. You might notice some energy moving and flooding in your body, things shifting in different ways. You may have noticed nothing whatsoever. Remain curious, remain open, and just see what happens when you speak those words out loud. I now choose to undefine all definitions of being fuck up. It's a definition of being a fuck up. It's the definition of being a loser, the definition of being worthless. And what you're doing is you're choosing to undefine it through spoken intention. That spoken intention sends a signal, an instruction to your subconscious mind to unravel all of the associated thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations, thereby taking the amount of emotional charge that you've invested into that concept from a 10, a 7, a 9, whatever it is, down to a 0. That's the intention. So I now choose to undefine all definitions of being worthless, stupid, idiot, loser, fuck up, whatever the thing is that you want to choose. This is a core component of the sovereign mind method. Now, we combine this intention of undefining definitions with forgiveness and de-identification. So when you disidentify with the concept, it exits your sphere of reality and you can see it and perceive it more clearly as not you, rather than being confused with your sense of identity. That's why disidentifying with the core belief, with the definition, is extremely important. And then we also weave in forgiveness, because ultimately, all of these word spells and illusions are just part of the problem here in the human experience. We've lost our capacity to see and perceive clearly, and instead, we perceive through a nested infrastructure layer of limitation called definitions. We don't see things as they are. We see the word spell, the label that we slap on top of it, prevents clear perception. When you forgive yourself completely for believing in the nonsense, for believing in the lie, all of the stored charge in your body that you've held judging yourself for being a so-called loser, for being so-called not good enough, for being so-called idiot, all of that judgment melts away permanently out of your field, and you enter into a state of that energy returning to you to be used for your true life purpose and creation. That energy returns to you in the form of love, and you can do with it whatever you choose and whatever you intend. So I invite you to begin practicing undefining your definitions of all of these concepts. And what I trust that you'll find is that it's immensely valuable beyond your wildest fucking imagination. And that as you continue to grow in this practice, that you might just want to be surrounded by other people who know how to do it and can take you where you want to go in your business, in your relationships, even faster through this method that we call the Sovereign Mind Method. And that's why I've launched an offer. It's geared towards entrepreneurs and professionals who are ready to bust through their glass ceiling, let go of their core limiting beliefs, and completely reshape their identity, free from all of these illusory spells and definitions of being not enough and not worthy, because we don't have time for that shit anymore. It's actually now time to make a choice. How long are we going to continue choosing to believe these lies and choosing to invest our faith inside of these old definitions and old core beliefs that truly once upon a time maybe served us but don't anymore? How long are we going to choose that? If the answer is not a second longer, I'm ready to let this shit go, I'd love to help you. grab some time on my calendar, check me out in the community down in the links below, and feel free to check out the offer that I put together for you to begin training in undefining your definitions, forgiving yourself, de-identifying with these word spells, and definitely check out the results that our students in the program are seeing so far. I think you'll be really impressed. So, be blessed, heaven yes, Godspeed. I love you very much. Truly a pleasure to share definitions with you today. I love you. Namaste, motherfucker.